All right, Merry Christmas. We're here in Sekiro, which I was alluding to playing soon. But after going through some stuff, and by stuff I mean games, I couldn't put it off. So I reinstalled it, booted it up, runs well. So we're just going to be going at it from the start. I'm probably going to skip most of the cutscenes and dialogue, considering I have played this game before. In fact, my old save was, like, re-downloaded from Steam. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll try and beat it before I play it on stream.
That shinobi at the bottom of the well. We didn't shackle,
Wasn't going to happen.
strain, nothing. That doesn't worry anybody? Not at all.
Just like timings and mechanics
He has completely lost his will to
was
live.
not familiar to me. It was not like Lies of P.
Unworthy of our.
So I'm like, well, let me try like just a new save and see what it's like. And I know it sounds weird to say, but it's very close to how Dark Souls works. In terms of like the parry mechanic. In Lies of P, it's kind of like closer to Street Fighter, where you want to press block within like a few frames of the attack. This one, it's more of that like anticipation, or, you know, timing it with the hit or something like that. You know, if you play Dark Souls, you know what I mean. So I just gotta get good. In fact, you could argue that I never got good, because I've never beaten this game. Talked about it probably in Elden Ring. Talked about it in Lies of P. Probably talked about it in Demon Souls. But I got to the last boss. Actually, the last two bosses.
No, right now there's this Lord Ishin.
And I gave up.
Once you find sick, you know, I will.
Like, get me the heck out of here. I didn't even remember that the D-pad was like your item use button. So like when I was fighting some of the bosses, the last bosses, not the last boss, but the optional last boss, Ogre of Rage or whatever he's called, I'm like, how do I heal? I'm pressing the heal button and my guy's doing nothing. Yeah, I was definitely out of my depth coming back to this game. And my old save file said like 24 hours. So we might be in this for the long haul. I did play a bit of the starting zone, so we might be on a little bit of easy street, but not for very long. Yeah, today's Christmas. Streaming a little bit later. Thank you. I don't think these guys have any money. I mean, it is the tutorial zone. You know, it was the adult usual. The essential socks, underwear. And actually, some useful stuff. I did ask Santa for a little something. Which usually I haven't done that in probably... I couldn't remember when I asked for something. But it is related to the art grind. It's weird. The timing is weird. And this guy's like as easy as it's going to get. But also I feel like this game is kind of like, it has that Lies of P sort of, like where the move is faster, it's easier to deal with than, you know, the slow moves. And this was what, I think this was after Dark Souls 3. So this was From Software's not last game, like the game right before Elden Ring. So we're probably in that realm of, yeah, you know, people know how to play our game, so we're gonna do this. And just from memory, I want to just straight up say this is the hardest From Software game. And to go back to, you know, the sort of lineup of games I was looking to play, I was considering starting Dark Souls. I did install it, and I booted it up, and I'm sitting there doing the Undead Asylum, and I'm like, man, this makes me just want to play Elden Ring. And I'm like, am I really gonna go through Undead Burg again?
Where shall I or what do you, whatever.
So I don't know if I'll go back to Dark Souls.
I was just onward.
Also, we got mega spoiled on Demon Souls Remaster. Well, I guess technically remake. Because, man, it actually looked good. I forgot how old Dark Souls is. And the remaster does not really change any of that. I don't know why I'm fighting this guy. You basically have to lose. I guess unless you're like the GOAT. Okay, next hit, we're dead. There we go. There it is. Yeah, I mean, like, Dark Souls 2 was already off the table.
What? You're the other is I'm viewed. Why am I?
And I don't know, I don't really have that urge to go and play Dark Souls 3.
They will look at my God of fusion. It is come to know. If you then go now. What did you mean? There and that some might.
But, you know, Sekiro was calling.
You're quite other than to you. You see, it would want to combine that.
So we'll see how far we can get. I mean, we'll probably cut these up into like hour chunks.
But certainly.
All right, I know this unlocks like the tutorial.
Damn.
I know they added some DLC challenges, which I've never done because I never came back to this game after giving up.
That's there was a few. Some others.
But I think it's just like maybe some bosses with,
Why don't
you know,
like coming
a
handy for
spin on maybe your loadout.
Well, very well. Right. Have you missed a certain and that's of interest?
No, I won't do that. We'll do that off stream. I was gonna say later, but y'all don't want to see me fight that guy like 3 times. All right, so one plus is you guys are not going to see me struggle with the controls, you know, to an extreme degree. Maybe a little. I think there's just a touch of I might think it plays like another From Software game. Just a little. That might happen, getting stuck on the walls. I want to say something about just like the general opinion of Sekiro, but I really don't see a lot of people talking about it. It kind of came out and then it kind of just, you know, we were done. And I know it didn't really get the DLC lineup to really maybe keep it a little bit more relevant. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if people didn't even know it got, like, free updates. Because I didn't know until it got, like, its last one. I'm like, this game got updates? Should have read what that does. I don't know what some of these items do. I'm pretty sure the ceramic shard is just, like, the pebble. So we might use it. I don't know. We didn't really use it in Elden Ring. Actually, maybe we did. I can't remember. And in Liza P, I think I maybe used the little throw gear once. And like, I mean on an actual enemy, not that one little secret. I hope you guys are having a good holiday. Specifically, if you're watching this on YouTube. I don't think anyone is really hanging out in the streams today. It's one of those days where you're either around or you're not. And I meant to go live a little bit earlier today, but I just kind of got hung up on stuff. slightly heal up. By the way, I don't even think I used pebbles, like, or pellets, pebbles on our first playthrough. And by ours, I mean mine. Mine? I can't talk? On my first playthrough, I don't think I ever used pebbles to heal. I'm saying pebbles now. It's stuck in my brain. Pellets are now pebbles. I'm so sorry. He cheated. Hey, Ika. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Royal wolf, take my blood
Hope you had a good
and
one.
live again.
Oh. I thought it was going to send us back. Maybe not optimum to use it here. Yeah. Hey, Rune, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Oh. I was going to talk about some of the stuff that I got, besides just socks and underwear and candy. I mean, it's a little boring. Like, wow, I got an art book. It was Anatomy for Sculptors, which I know is one of those big books. You got a knife? I'm assuming like a nice kitchen knife. Like a... I honestly don't know any brand. I was going to make a Ninja Turtles reference, but I don't know if it's appropriate. Also, I don't think anyone would get it. But it was also like a reference to a real life product. It was a pocket knife. A Kershaw, not a Karambit. Which is the only like knife that I know. Besides like maybe like a bayonet. Thanks, Counter-Strike. Kershaw's a brand. You know, that sounds obvious. Don't need another bayonet? Hey, Ram, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy 3rd anniversary. I didn't say anything, but I was there. I've been just lurking. Probably just lurk a little more until New Year's. Until I'm a little more active on social medias. I mean, I was just watching Tito before going live, and I'm like, man, I wanted to go live earlier today, and now everyone's live. Or soon to be live. Nice. Let's eat a pebble, also known as a pellet. Hopefully the bitrate does not get eaten by this game. I feel like it might. But I think Demon Souls was alright, and that game had like crazy particle effects. Let me live? But I guess it is the season. I saw people talking about their PS5s or stuff from PS5 was trending. I saw Returnal trending because I think people were hyped about the God of War update. And it feels weird to me that people think Returnal was slept on. I think it definitely was slept on, but not for the reasons that the game is not good, but because it's kind of not anything special. May end up with a second PS5 because your nephew doesn't want to share. What is there to play? Legit, I bought the thing, played through Demon Souls, and I'm like, you know what? These things are still mighty up there in the secondhand market. I might sell this thing. It did cross my mind, but I'm like, no, I still got like this stuff that could happen. He cheated? We're dead. We're dead in one hit. And he took it. Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Man is pretty good. But I mean, you have like that's it. Spider-Man, Demon Souls. Returnal's not even exclusive anymore. They released it on Steam. Oh, that's right. Final Fantasy 16 is exclusive. At least for now. Same with Rebirth, Final Fantasy 7. But it's all timed exclusive now. Like Sony just put out like a thing where they said, yeah, games with $100 million budget aren't AAA anymore. We're calling them medium-sized games. And I'm like, oh my gosh. What a time we live in. And I mean, I'm not saying like there's a problem with that. Like, it's not AAA. That term has literally no meaning anyway. But just how much it costs to make games. Like, you can't really afford to keep them exclusive. I mean, you can for a little bit. Unless you're Nintendo.
Who are you?
My name. I am.
What?
Forget how to. I'm not how. Look that I am.
You may.
Yeah, but I'm the mid. Even at.
Yes.
Bring.
Cool.
Yeah, mid. Adding if you.
All right.
I.
What is?
Please.
What?
This one.
No.
That. Or perhaps.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm. Goodbye.
Which I guess segues into the next thing that I wasn't expecting to get. I did not ask for this. I didn't even allude that I really wanted it. I mean, I have talked about it, but I wasn't like asking for it. But I did get Super Mario RPG. So that will probably be happening soon. Which weirdly enough is another game I never finished. And not because I quit, okay? The last boss wasn't too hard and I didn't give up. It wasn't like that. And I've told this story a couple times. In fact, I'm sure many people have this story. Because I played it on an emulator years ago. Back when I like first discovered emulation. I.e. someone much older had discussed it and I was like, oh, okay. And I was into retro gaming, so I knew about Mario RPG. I'm like, oh, I'll finally get to play it. But the ROM would always crash, just like straight up hard crash, or like soft lock. Not, I can't remember specifically what happened, but after you beat one boss, it was the guy who looks like a shark. It would just not continue. And I mean, I know how the rest of the game goes, but I've never experienced it. I know there's the cloud area. I'm pretty sure Smithy is the last boss, and I do know about the post-game boss. This is the worst. Hey, you know what? Do we have to kill them all? Do we have to kill every guy we see?
Who is it?
Dude, shoutouts to Steam. Always using Xbox buttons.
Yes.
No, sir. My name is. I ask if she's her mind.
When I'm using a PlayStation controller.
Sir.
Lies
she
of P
doesn't-
actually had the PlayStation buttons show up. Why can't like all these huge studios just do that? Or at least in the PC version of the games, just have it in like the controller options. Just like have, you know, button icons. Also, partly why I didn't want to play Demon Souls, or not Demon Souls, Dark Souls, is it did not recognize my PlayStation 5 controller. Which is not a huge problem, because I just used my Switch Pro controller. And just, you know, shimmy the key bindings around, or not key bindings, but, you know, the button prompts. But man, that game, even though it's a remaster, it's still jank. How play Dark Souls again when it looks like Demon Souls. Which will probably never happen. Or it'll happen next year. Who knows? And I guess, you know, I got gift cards, which is fine. I did load up Steam Wallet. Since, you know, I'm not gonna be really... Like, for normal expenses, I've got that covered. For, like, games, you know, I'll take a little extra help when I can. So we're pretty much good. I was debating like picking up other stuff to maybe stream. I did grab Final Fantasy X and X-2 because it's on sale. It's been on my wish list for a while. So that I grabbed, and I've never played Final Fantasy X. And definitely not X-2. But I was thinking about picking up Nier, both Automata and Replicant. I have to be very careful because I'm pretty sure the original release was Gestalt in North America. But I'm like, I kind of know how these games go. You know, with Nier Automata coming out, I kind of binged like what the heck Nier even was. Which is why I even know there's a difference between Gestalt and Replicant. And I'm like, nah, I don't know. So I'm kind of just holding off on spending any more. Because number one, we've got Elden Ring DLC. Number two, we've got Lies of P DLC. And number three, we've got Sparking Zero Dragon Ball Z coming out. I'm assuming next year. There's no way that game is not coming out next year. And I was thinking, I'm like, man, do I buy like... I was thinking about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, and I kept watching. I'm like, do I really want to pick this up? And people were like, yeah, it's fun, but then like it kind of just becomes a grind, and like if you like Dragon Ball, it's fun. And I'm like, oh man, if I stream it, it's just gonna be boring. Ram, Gestalt is the version with like the big beefy guy. Like that was the Xbox version, right? Replicant is the one they remade it with, and the PS3 version. Right? Or do I have it backwards? Or do I have it like wrong in a quarter of ways? But I know they did change up the remake of the first Nier because they wanted to replicate Platinum's like combat from Automata. So I know that it's more than just the same game.
I'll buy some.
But I was thinking about that.
A fire shooting. I'll keep it.
There was something else. It's on sale right now, but I was not picking it up. Oh, like Digimon World, which is 50% off and still like $40. And I know that game is not... It's maybe worth $40, but I'm not paying $40 for a game that's been re-released 2 times already, and you put it up $80. Namco, you're crazy for that. Digimon Survive is still $80. And I paid that. And I'm like, please, Bandai, just make a new game. Make a new Digimon game. New Digimon World, please. Oh, this guy's gonna kill us. I was like hard stuck on this guy for a while. I think he's intended to, like, you know, be fought maybe a little bit later. But I can't tell. His moves aren't too difficult, but he could just kill you in one hit, like what's about to happen right now. Oh, we didn't even get one on him. One of his health bars. But yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hold off on just like binging on games that might be fun to play through now, but then like I regret not waiting until something that like I actually want to play or been prepping to play comes out, and I'm just like, oh, I'm at $80. Wish I didn't spend it on games I'm not playing.
What is it? Seems to take the... What shouldn't be called? What did you know?
I found... Yes.
I start thick fitting if that's all.
I did pick up the shuriken, right? Which I was playing with this, I guess yesterday or last night, maybe the day before. Saturday or Sunday.
No matter the so.
And I thought this thing sucked. And I know this is a part of the game where the shinobi tools really add a lot to like certain fights. Like they can be really helpful. And I never used them. I remember watching like an early Sekiro video. And it's like, hey, if you use the firecrackers on this guy, it like stuns him. And I'm like, I literally had no clue, and I struggled on that guy forever. And I think maybe it works on like animals too. But that's like the only like post I quit Sekiro tech that I ever looked up. Or at least I retain. Clean. See, he's like not difficult, but if you screw up, you're just like dead. Which is why I don't think he's like an early game guy. Not like he is an early game guy, but like he's an early game like hey, you know, maybe play a little bit more of this area and then come back. Also, did we not upgrade our healing? Why do I only have one flask? Don't do it to me. Merry Christmas. If I look. Whoops. I still have it in my inventory. Like it's gonna help me. But it would be nice.
Have you seen all that the however repeat a disease forgive?
Is there?
I do. I am.
Thank you. Is this
Yes, plan her. Now the
such a
is it? If it's that's
Nice.
please, I should. Goodbye.
All right, now we'll beat him. I always thought this game was a little weird on like sort of boss fights. Like, do we count every guy with like the extra health as a boss? Or is it only like some of the big like arena fights that count? That's not cool, dude. Would have loved some iframes. All right, one down. Still have our res. Cheated. I don't want to admit how many times I died to this guy. Just like testing the game. But funny enough, the spear guy also got involved in my winning run. That's 2 times he's shown up. And then like, I guess like my brain just goes like, okay, panic. And then just like fully dials in. Goes a little bit ultra instinct, if you will. Yeah, I guess like right now, the only game I'm really excited for is Sparking Zero and just DLC for existing games. And I wouldn't be against alluding to us playing through Elden Ring again very soon. I mean, the channel basically was Street Fighter for a while, so what's the problem with it just being like a Souls kind of channel for a while? I mean, everyone likes FromSoft. And I still need to finish Bloodborne. And I also need to buy the old Hunters DLC again. Dude, Lies of P, it just like... It lit that spark. It was so good. And I watched some people talk about like Lies of P, like DLC theory. And people were talking like it's gonna be like... You're like, oh, well, you think it's gonna be, you know, the... Fantasy Island from Pinocchio. They're like, no, it's probably gonna be Frankenstein. And I'm like, that would actually be sick. So I'm all in on the Frankenstein DLC. Also, in my playthroughs off stream from just playing through Lies of P multiple times, trying to complete it, I just need 2 more achievements. I realized that the submarine, I think, is the Monstro reference. Because I mentioned, I'm like, oh, I heard he was in the game, but we didn't see any whale. The submarine has like a shark face on it. And I'm like, is that supposed to be it? They think it's going to be about immortality. Yeah, that seems to be the link between sort of the main character and the ending. Are like these fantasy immortal characters are like, I don't want to say like fairy tale. But like, yeah, like they're thinking it's going to be about like Frankenstein and his research and like the immortality that he created, you know, as akin to like Geppetto and Pinocchio. People are like, oh, you don't play as Pinocchio, you play as the Tin Man, which I think is half true. I jokingly made the Tin and Punishment joke literally at the end, but I think because they're like, oh, nobody says Pinocchio. And I'm like, no, but everyone says Geppetto's puppet. Everyone calls you that. But I think it's in the terms of like, you will become the Tin Man by the end of it.
Don't use that cruel.
But man, they gotta call it Tin and Punishment. Lies of P2. Also, the lore goes deep in that game. Not in the sense of like notes and stuff, but just like the naming scheme and like the theme and what they're referencing. I'm like, man, these guys actually, you know, they put in the reps. And it's just so good. The game was just so good. Yeah, really, the only thing the game really does kind of lack is the Legion arm is, like, not useful at all. I think that's their one, like... You know, it's there, but, you know, it doesn't really impact much. And the grapple is clearly the best one. Because I did do an arcane playthrough, and I did try the other elemental arms. Really not any change. You know, you just get the next one, next Lies of P. You see that MP bar, and like instead of like, you know, the grapple hook, you have like different spells or whatever they want to use. And I think then I couldn't think of anything else like that's kind of, you know, a lesser than From Software. Except for maybe, like, you know, the mostly linear style of game. But it kind of, like, playing through Demon Souls, I'm like, this kind of feels like Lies of P. But instead of, like, choosing your level, Lies of P just, like, was like, here's this zone, here's that zone. And so on and so forth until the game is over. Which it isn't even a bad thing. Thanks for that. Really didn't want that heal. Guy has 1 health. Maybe the one use. Yeah, maybe like enemies. I don't know. No, we're not even playing Lies of P, and I can't stop talking about it. And what I really like about Lies of P is they're updating it with, like, little holiday cosmetics. So if I ever play it again on stream, which is going to happen, they introduced a reindeer, like a Rudolph, like, nose. But man, it's totally just a clown nose. And that is never coming off. Yeah. I'm gonna take a quick break because I gotta use the washroom. I'll be right back.